Hey everybody, welcome back again. And today I'm doing something that I've not done on the channel before, and that's going to be looking at a toy that is actually not a Transformer. So if you've tuned in before, you know that typically I do unboxings and first impressions of mostly third-party figures, but a few official Hasbro figures here and there. But today I'm going to take a look at something different. I'm going to be looking at the G.I. Joe Classified Series M.M.S. And so for any fans of the original G.I. Joe toy line, you'll know that this is one of the first vehicles that was released when their 3 3/4 inch figures came out in 1982. So the original version of this toy was actually released in 1982 and again in 1983 with the straight arm versus the swivel arm. And what Hasbro has done is they've kind of updated this, and they've released several vehicles and several incarnations of the figures from that original 82-83 tour line over the years, whether it's through these boxed figures or through the retro card backs. But this toy, the original one, I remember getting Christmas 1982, loved it. It was one of my first, it was actually my very first G.I. Joe toy along with the Vamp, and it's just always held a special place in my heart. So when this thing came out, I just had to get it and take a look at it. So without any more delay, let's go ahead and get into this and take a look at what we've got. So first we'll take a look at the box. So it's got really cool product shots of the toy itself. On the side, we've got just kind of typical box art, modern box art. We've got this kind of weird box art on the side that looks, I guess it looks like this is actually a drawing, not the actual toy. And then on the back we've got photos of the actual toy. So let's go ahead and get into this guy and see what we've got. So this is boxed pretty well and pretty firmly entrenched in the box here. Let's see if we can remove it from the other end. All right, so in the box, we get quite a bit, actually. There is some assembly that's going to be required. So first thing we get, I think, is a little instruction sheet, probably some assembly instructions, all that good stuff. It's just a small little instruction sheet here. So anybody that had the original toy from 1982 remembers a couple things about this toy. So the fins that the missiles fit on broke super easily. There were also little caps that fit on the ends of the missiles that kept the two missile halves together. Those would frequently get lost. And then there was also a little computer console with like a little faux wire that attached to the main body of the launcher that would also get lost super easily or bent. And then we've got a box here that I suppose is some additional accessories. So let's see what we've got in here. So it looks like we do have some missile blast effects included with this. Those are really cool looking. Some additional blast effects. And then we have some additional parts and accessories. Looks like that we've got a rifle pouch for the figure. We've got some compartment covers that look to go on the body. And it looks like we've got the legs and maybe part of a tow hitch. So, getting the figure out. So, a really good looking figure. Very reminiscent of the original 1983 toy line. He's got the clear visor on his helmet. Of course, a lot more accessories. But he's, you know, that plain green, doesn't have all of the crazy garb that a lot of the modern figures have. Pretty simplistic looking, as were those original 1983 figures. If you recall back, really the only ones that had any color on them were the Scarlet figure, the Snake Eyes, who was all black, and then you had the two Cobra figures. All of the other figures in the good guy line were all pretty much variations of green, very simple looking. And then he's also got some additional weaponry. So we've got kind of the classic laser blaster and a couple of additional weapons. And then we've got the pieces of the M.M.S. itself. So let's go ahead and get this cut out. So we've got the main body of the missile launcher. And we've got some blast effects in here as well. So some really cool looking blast effects. And these are, it may look like it's two pieces, but it's really a single piece that's molded together, but it's just really, really cool looking. Very nice, very nice. Another blast effect in the similar vein there. Just really, really nice. And this is one of the things that just amazes me about Hasbro with